Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nik and Matt Get Goosebumps. I'm Matt.
And I'm Nick.
And Nick, what are we going to do today?
We're going to get goosebumps.
Darn tootin', Nick. Now, I don't know how many goosebumps we're going to get out of this particular book. Goosebumps.
4.
Oh, 4? 4 goosebumps, singular, split between the two of us? Are we going to share this, or are we going to be a jerk
I think
like
I
Evan?
might have more than you, so I think I might get 3 and you might get 1.
Oh, so you're going to be the Evan Stupid of this podcast then, not wanting to share any of your goosebumps.
Don't goosebump shame me.
It's the worst kind of shame there is, too.
Yeah.
And then, Nick, we are going to be talking about Goosebumps issue number 3, Monster Blood.
Woo!
Not how I remembered Monster Blood.
This is one of the ones that I haven't read. Never even really saw the TV episode either.
Well, we're gonna watch that later as well. But Monster Blood, it is a Goosebumps staple. It is, in fact, even the last issue of the original run of books ended with Goosebumps Monster Blood 4.
Yeah. Which was a shock to me. I didn't know that that's how it ended.
Yeah.
Because I kind of drifted away from the series like in the mid-50s.
Okay.
So I never really knew like the last few books.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised that there was a 4th one and that it wasn't relegated to one of the later series like Goosebumps 2000 or Extreme Goosebumps or
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a real one, but I
Extreme
imagine it would
Goosebumps?
be. Yeah, wouldn't that be,
I feel like there are so many Goosebumps spin-offs at this point. Latest being Slappy
Spectacular
World.
Goosebumps, The Amazing Goosebumps.
Oh yes, they just followed in the footsteps
R.L.
of
Stein,
Spider-Man.
Goosebumps. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know if they went that far, but they have gotten to Slappy World, which I think is just
Jesus
insane.
Christ.
Because they had the Horrorland series, which they just re-released the classic Goosebumps books under. Mm-hmm. And now Slappy World. And I don't even...
Does he really need a whole world?
Nick, yes. I do have some spooky facts.
Spooky facts!
You're always so excited for these spooky facts.
Look, I live for spooky facts.
You're going to be super disappointed, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, welcome to my life.
One of them is just a copy-paste from the last Goosebumps book we read, that this is also written in third person. And I've said it before, Nick, in the last episode, in fact, that I don't care for this type of storytelling in my Goosebumps books because I want to experience this along with the children.
Right.
I don't want to be an outside observer.
Right. You want to be in the trenches with them.
Yeah, I want to be the character, but you know what? I don't mind in this book because I in no way want to be Evan Ross.
Oh, he's a ginger.
Not only that, he's just stupid.
High five.
High five. So that is one of the spooky facts. The second is Stein apparently got this idea for the book. And how do you think he got this idea, Nick?
He watched The Blob.
Yes.
Wait, is that seriously what it was?
Yeah, and then in the Q&A it was, R.L. Stein, how did you get the idea for some of your classic books, namely Monster Blood? And he said, well, I was strapped for ideas after the second book, and I remembered the classic Blob series of films, and just kind of wrote that. Changed the names around.
And how?
Yeah. No, this he actually got the idea from his son's toy slime.
Okay.
Well,
see, I when you think of the toy Monster Blood,
yeah,
my thought goes right to Home Alone 2, where he buys that green stuff.
Okay.
With the monster head at Duncan's toy chest. He later uses it to make the floor slippery.
Oh yeah. Now I remember that. Yeah, like a gack type of stuff, some weird goopy situation.
Something that would be advertised on YTV as totally rad.
Oh yeah, something you'd put inside of a monster head.
Yeah.
For boogers. Do you remember Monster Head?
No,
just a skeletal head.
I remember Louis.
Monster Face, man, Monster Face. That was what it was called.
Oh, okay. I still don't remember. I remember Louis, where you have to pick his nose, and if you pick too far,
Gooey Louie.
Yeah, and then his brain pops out.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to play that game.
Well, it's violent. So yeah, not much of a spooky fact section. There's one more spooky fact, but that's going to come later because I don't want to give away the plot of the book.
Oh, okay.
So that'll come
Well,
up
I mean,
later.
we're assuming everyone here has read it.
We are hoping, but maybe you're just listening because you want an audiobook version of Monster Blood, but you don't want to listen to the actual audiobook of Monster Blood.
And you like our sexy, sexy voices. Hello, ladies.
It's even more terrifying in person, everyone.
Fuck you.
You're coming here to get scared.
Well, I came here to get goosebumps. I don't know about you.
Me too. Let's get those goosebumps. Let's talk about Evan Ross for a little bit, though. I want to get the main characters out of the way. Curly orange hair, skinnier than a spaghetti noodle. Real piece of work, this
Oh,
Evan.
God, no, he's a little shit.
Awful. Mean to his mother. Rude
That's
to
the
everybody.
thing. Like, he's just like... Well, he's mean to his mother, but his mother is also, like, laying the guilt on real thick. Right on page 1. He's like, I hate this, and she's just like, well, I guess you hate me then. It's like, he didn't say that. He's just being a little shit.
He didn't have to say it, Nick. She's had to put up with his tomfoolery for 12 years now. Ever since he was a baby. And you know what, Nick? This book is different in a way from other books because there is no younger sibling messing up the works here.
No, there isn't.
And you know why? Because Evan was such a terrible idea in the first place. They could never go through with having another one. They couldn't roll the dice again.
Well,
Huge mistake,
I think
Evan.
maybe once they move to Atlanta, they'll have a change of life baby or something.
Maybe a fresh start. And
Maybe in Monster Blood 2, we'll find out either they had another baby or like they got divorced or something.
oh yeah, Evan could maybe still be living in the attic. He'll just be the monster in that book. He'll be fed fish heads.
It would be appropriate.
Yes. So skinny little spaghetti noodle Evan.
Yeah.
Terrible character. Worst character so far in the series, I think. So
like
far,
main character?
Main character.
Sure.
Yes. Great Aunt Catherine. At least 80 by Evan's view. But kids are...
But by all account, looks like Celia Ward.
I laugh, but I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
It was...
It's not even that far of a reference.
It was a polite laugh.
Uh.
I'll look it up later.
Sure.
She is described as a large, robust woman who loves beef, with broad shoulders and long black hair pulled back into a ponytail.
Hello, Great Aunt Catherine.
Large, steely blue eyes and no makeup. Getting a good picture here. She has a bone necklace. She is deaf and refuses to learn sign language, or so we think.
Well, that shit's hard.
Nick, she's also described as having a man's voice and dog breath.
Dog breath.
Yeah.
Smell that beef.
Yeah. And she lacked the indistinct pronunciation that some people who are deaf have.
Yeah, like Marley Matlin.
Yep. And she's a self-declared...
Who's Marley Matlin?
I don't know. Stop saying names I don't know.
Sorry.
Mary-Kate Olsen?
No. She's
Close.
not deaf.
Not yet. I don't know what that's implying.
I don't want to know.
A self-declared scary old witch.
Mm-hmm.
Not that far off either. She's just not burying the lead there.
No, not at all.
There's also Andrea, local girl, short brown hair, flashing baby browns, and a playful, teasing smile. This chick, way out of Evan's league.
Dude, she's 12.
Yeah, but to a 12-year-old, they're adults in their own mind.
Yeah, fair enough. But I don't think there's supposed to be any kind of spark there.
Nick, she has a playful, teasing smile.
Yeah, but he's a ginger.
Trigger, the dog.
Trigger warning, everybody.
Yeah, and Sarah Beth, the cat.
The cat.
With a strange name, Sarah Beth.
It is a human name.
Yeah. Let's get into the recap, Nick. Are you ready for this? Are you ready?
I am ready. I have got my monster notes.
Yeah, we got a nice bowl of Monster Blood, green gelatin to be exact, cooling in the fridge.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna eat that later.
It's gonna be great.
It's
we wouldn't eat it on the podcast because it would just be us going.
Well, maybe we should. We should pull it out at one point. It'll be the sickening sucking sounds that this Monster Blood makes, apparently.
Oh yeah. Sounds like my ex-wife.
80 years old, everybody.
Hello.
channeling Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, well, I also get no respect.
So I'm ready to do this thing, Nick. I'm ready to get goosebumps. You're ready to get goosebumps.
I've already got them.
He's got them.
Just don't ask me where.
Listener beware. You're in for a scare. Evan is sent to stay with his great aunt Catherine, who he's only met once when he was 2 years old.
Does he even remember her?
No, so let's just say for the first time. He's meeting her for the first time.
For all intents and purposes.
For all of them. First time. Evan is the worst.
He really is. He is the worst little shit.
Yeah, his parents have to go find a new home.
Probably because he burned the old one down.
Yeah, they're leaving him with this stranger of a woman who even the father doesn't want to leave Evan. He eavesdrops, overhears this argument the mother and father are having, and the dad's like, don't leave him at this crazy woman's house. Like, you know what she did to me when I stayed there?
She made me pie.
Yeah. What kind of pie?
I don't want to be a pie.
Not your choice. Apparently she makes dog pie.
Dog pie?
Well, that's what Evan thinks. Being a kid like Evan, you gotta know you're the worst. But he wonders why he's never included in family discussions, and he has to eavesdrop everything.
Yeah.
If you have to eavesdrop everything, that's a sign right there. But he's just very mean to everybody. He's mean to his mother, very rude to her.
Yeah.
He hates this, he hates that. Don't touch my hair, Mom. I hate you. He doesn't actually say I hate her.
It's one thing when you're 28 and your mother does it to be like, okay, this is, But when you're 12, fucking deal with it.
Yeah. She's earned
She's
the right.
Your mother.
Come on. And so she says, fine. So you hate me. Whatever.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying before. It was just like guilt trip city. It's like, it's not.
Yeah, you can tell she's super disappointed that Evan is her child. And disappointed in Evan as well as herself.
Okay, let's get off the first page.
I wrote so many notes on the first page, though. Anyway, okay, fine. Aunt Catherine opens the door, greets them.
Hello?
Yes, with a man's voice. Do you like beef?
Beef?
I hope you like beef. I've been cutting a lot of it in the kitchen.
We are, in fact, eating more beets.
Beef?
Beef?
She opens the door with a bloody knife. Chapter break because she's opening the door with a bloody knife.
Obviously, she's a killer. If these chapter breaks have taught me anything so far, it's that whatever you think at the end is definitely going to come to pass in the next chapter.
Yes, it is. Jump to conclusions whenever possible.
Absolutely.
And then immediately be proven wrong. So no worries. She was just slicing beef.
For that figure, she loves beef.
Yeah, and Evan better like beef is all I can say.
I mean, who doesn't?
That's true.
Let's be honest here. I mean, beef is kind of the best.
Well, your sister doesn't like beef.
Well, no, she does. She just doesn't eat it.
I guess you could be a vegetarian and love meat, but just not eat it.
Yeah.
I think that's how all vegetarians are.
No.
We should have had beef for this show. We should have been sinking our teeth into some raw beef while we were recording this. That would be pleasant to listen to, I'm sure.
No, it would be the same thing with the Jell-O.
That's true. A sick sucking noise. All right. Anyone who hasn't been turned off of this show already, you're in it for the long haul, I can tell. If you can sit through Nick smacking his lips, clacking his teeth. Actually, you haven't clacked your teeth yet, but I'm sure it's to come. Just like great Aunt Catherine. Sick. So you better like beef. Better not be like he better not be like his father who just wants pie all day, every day, according to great Aunt Catherine.
When you have pie too often, it becomes less special, Matthew.
It becomes something.
But beef will never go out of style.
Never. Where's the beef?
Where is the beef?
It's right here. Aunt Catherine's hoarding it all. Evan is a moron here. He starts asking his aunt questions, but he knows his aunt is deaf.
Yeah, he's just Evan stupid.
The broad can't hear you, Evan. Aunt Catherine is a strange bird, Nick, continuously calling Evan a big boy.
Got a girlfriend?
Oh, not even. Just saying, like, you like the girls?
You like the girls?
And asking the mom, does he like the girls? I can tell he likes the girls, just like his father. He likes the girls. Deep voice, too. Does he like the girls?
Like Game Gum from Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh, I got that one.
Do you like the girls?
I can tell he likes the girls.
I can tell he likes the girls so hard.
Evan starts telling his mom.
I put the monster blood in the basket.
Or what?
I don't know.
Or else it gets the hose
Put
again.
the fucking monster blood in the basket.
She doesn't even know about the monster blood yet, man. Evan starts telling his mom
She does.
that she cannot do this to him right in front of the sickening Aunt Catherine.
Yeah, but she can't hear.
I know, but not that she can't. She can at least see the look of horror on their faces. No, she can read
I don't know.
a
She
face.
seems so preoccupied with. She just seems to be in her own little world.
Yeah, and the mother can't deal with this. She just tucks a $10 bill into a shirt.
It's like, go see a Star Wars, and then she's off to Atlanta.
And he's like, buy yourself something nice. Drives away, never seen again. Evan opens a closet and freaks when warm blackness engulfs his face. So once again, jump to conclusions. It's over for him. He's dead.
Yeah.
Warm blackness. He thinks he's done
Chapter
for.
2. The rest of it is just the funeral.
This is it. Game over, man.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
It's been years. Oh, it hasn't been years. How long has it been since...
Like a couple weeks, man. A couple of weeks.
Anyway, it's just a cat. Sarah Beth. Sarah Beth, to be precise. Trigger jumps at the cat, and Evan is proud to see it. He loves seeing violence towards cats. He loves it.
I don't like the direction this is going.
Well, he goes down to the dog after and he's like, good boy, Trigger.
Yeah, well, just because the cat gives him the willies.
Yeah, I know. I got it. You don't like violence towards animals, and you're going to hate the twins. You already know the stuff they do. You know the stuff they get up to. She needs Aunt Catherine said she needs to take care of that dog. Evan protests, but once again, she's deaf. So it's her way or the highway. She demands him to bring the dog.
Put the dog in the basket.
Aunt Catherine she's
Put the fucking dog in the basket!
She's gotten a bad rap because so far she's been nothing but pleasant. She's a little obscure, a little strange. Harmless, though. Harmless.
Like, she's just an eccentric old woman.
Like her father said, she's harmless.
Yeah.
But terrifying. Answering the door with a bloody knife. She loves beef. She's cooking for him, making everything. She made a little dog pen in the backyard.
She sounds like, how people would describe, like, oh, my grandmother from the old country.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's that sort of, like, charming eccentricity.
Yeah, and...
Eccentricity. Eccentricity.
Yes, eccentricity. And you know what? She's deaf, man. She's overcome a lot of hardships in her life, I'm sure. She's a single old lady living in this house alone. She's voluntarily taking in this brat of a child. And, give her some slack. She has set up a little dog pen for Trigger in the back.
Yeah.
And now offers Evan some cookies. And then Evan wants to take Trigger for a walk. And now he runs into a local girl.
Ooh. Well, he likes the girls.
Right away he likes this girl. This girl tries to scare him. Hand on the shoulder. We've seen that once or twice before in this series already.
Oh, yeah. No, like the cliffhanger hand on the shoulder.
The classic.
I wonder how many more times we'll see it in this series.
We should count how many. I think this is actually only 2, but we should refer to it from here on in.
It's been in all of them.
Well, yeah, but we're only at book 3.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so it's been in the second one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to refer to that as the classic, and we'll have a classic count. The classic scare count.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll work on it.
Seems like something we would have worked out already.
Well, it's a work in progress. So he runs into local girl. Andrea.
Hello, local girl.
Hello, local girl. What is your name? Andrea. But I hate it. She hates her name. She wants people to call her Andy.
So then why not just introduce yourself as Andy?
Exactly. Like if you have to keep telling people, this is my name, but call me this, just start saying, call me this. Or just saying, my name's Andy.
Yeah.
Which is a stupid name for a woman.
No.
I'm hard. I like Andrea better.
Yeah.
Her reasoning behind not wanting to be called Andrea.
Duh.
What?
I thought you were just being really harsh.
No.
I'm like...
All you Andys out there, you're fine. I love you. I love Andys, but I don't like it when your name is Andrea and you want to be an Andy.
Oh, okay. So you are being extremely harsh.
I am being harsh?
Well, yeah, but I thought you were just making a joke because she calls every name stupid.
Oh, she does. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, she's real mean. Like she's
a piece of work.
Yeah, she is.
But she's playful mean. She's not malicious mean like Evan.
Yeah, but like, this is something you get away with when you're 12, but you go into any place now as
Oh,
a
yeah.
30-year-old, and you meet somebody and be like, "What's your name?"
Stupid name.
Yeah, that's a stupid name. You got a stupid dog. You got a stupid life. You're wearing stupid clothes, and I hate your face. I'm just joking. It's not gonna work.
No.
Not gonna fly. But you know what? Evan has such low self-esteem that he's cool with all this.
And
He
this is the
actually starts
thing.
insulting himself.
Yeah. This is the thing. It's like, what is Evan's deal? Because he is so mean to everyone, but he's also mean to himself.
Yeah, yeah, and I think he really enjoys being ridiculed. He loves it. Like later on when those bullies punch him, I'm sure he got real into that. Like he likes having that swollen badge of honor on his face.
Wow.
Am I digging too deep? Maybe I'm digging too
I
deep.
think you're digging a little too
We
deep.
got to find something. I want there to be more substance to this monster blood.
I don't think there is. I think it's just green goop.
We'll see. Probably some yeast in it, at least.
From the east?
Yeast from the east, yes.
Yep.
So, Nick, there's something in here. They mention a lot of name brands in this book. Do you think R.L. Stine is after the mad Nike money? The Nintendo money?
No.
The Gap money?
Well, maybe the Gap money.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just to
Really
because
describe-
those are names that even kids will recognize.
Yeah. It
So
really brings
it's
me
like,
back
hey
to...
kids, this is real world.
Yeah.
You guys like Nintendo
Yeah. Remember Nintendos?
with the Mario guys and the Donkey Kongs?
The Donkey Kongs. They mention that she is wearing Nikes or Nikes. I don't know how to say it. Probably Nikes.
God,
also-
I hated that in elementary school because it was right when Nike was a big thing and
Yeah.
like Nike shoes and everything. And because of the way my name is spelled, N-I-K, people would call me Nike because it's Nike but without the E at the end.
Yeah. I'm going to start calling you that. This
Please
is going to
don't.
be Nik and Matt get goosebumps. Fine, it won't be.
Thank you.
Did you own a pair of Nikes as a child?
Probably. I probably had one once.
One shoe?
Yep.
You had to share it with your sister?
And I wore it on my hand.
They also mentioned she has a BMX. She is so cool, so much cooler than Evan. I can't imagine she even gives Evan the time of day.
And yet she does.
Oh yeah, she does. You know, I loved how, as these two are introducing themselves, even Stein got bored, and and then he just writes this one line about Trigger. Trigger sniffed at a bug on a fat brown leaf. And that's it. And then goes back to Andrea and Evan talking to each other. Now, Andrea is calling his dog stupid, saying he's got a stupid name. And Evan is just eating it up, saying, yeah, I guess so. Andrea hates her own name, like we said. She does the whole call me Andy bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, she hates everything to the point where it's like, though we don't really see any other kids in this town,
Yeah.
she must hate all of them to the point where she's just, like, desperate for a friend at this point.
Yeah. Probably. What is this town? Dark Falls on a sunny day? She doesn't even want to know Evan's name, so she clamps her hand over Evan's mouth and says she wants to guess because it's probably a real stupid name. And Evan is so giddy just that she is touching him.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, yeah, it's Evan. Evan, stupid. People back at home, they don't get Evan's sense of humor. All the girls don't get Evan's sense of humor. But Andrea loves it.
It's okay, Evan, I got your back.
You got my back?
No, Evan.
Fine. I can't believe you're an Evan sympathizer.
Well, I mean, when you put it like that...
They go into town now. They visit an old toy store called Wagner's
I want to talk about
Novelties.
the town. I want to talk about the town.
and Sundries. Fine. Talk about the town. Go ahead, Nick.
Well, The Town was a great movie that came out in 2010, directed and starring Ben Affleck, with John Hamm, Jeremy Renner, and a few other people.
Pugface. That's Jeremy Renner. Go ahead. Talk about the movie a little more.
No, I don't want to. I'd actually like to talk about The Town.
Okay, go ahead.
The Town, it really reminds me of those 1950s sci-fi / horror movies where you would have, like, the small town.
Yeah.
And, like, just the way he describes it, where it's, like, all the buildings are two-storied, and, like, you have, like, the doctor's office, the barber shop, the grocery on the corner, and all that. It really
Struck a chord with you.
yeah, and, like, those towns are what I like. I know that sounds so fucking weird.
You like
but
birdseed half off, eh? That's in the store window. They gotta
it is.
advertise that.
No, but just like you know what I'm getting at. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it reminds me of like the original Body Snatchers. Even more recent films like Arachnophobia, like where it's
Yeah.
just like the small town, and it just seems like a nice little community.
I have to tell you, Nick, Arachnophobia is at least 20 years old.
I
not
said
a-
more recent.
Yeah, it's slightly more recent, but you're an old man.
Hello, ladies.
So yes.
By the way, Arachnophobia holds up
Yeah, it does.
like nobody's business.
So they go into that town that Nick loves so much. An old toy store called Wagner's Novelties and Sundries.
Yeah.
First thing they go in, he's like, "Do you have Nintendo games?"
It's like, of course not. Oh, Evan, you're so stupid.
And with every one of those name drops, ka-ching!
I don't think so.
R.L. Stein's
Although
wallet getting a little thicker.
there was a Goosebumps video game, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm. Tie-ins.
Yeah.
He just like, if I can mention
But
Nintendo.
I mean, this is book 3.
Well, that's it. He's planting his
Oh, he's
seeds
planting
early.
Oh.
Yeah. R.L. Stein's learning his lessons from his own characters, Dr. Brewer. Planting his seeds early, Nick. Cashing in later.
Ching!
There we go. Thank you for making the sound.
No problem.
Evan finds a can of Monster Blood. Baba.
Where does he find it?
In the back room where he wasn't even allowed.
He's not allowed to go
He's
there.
not allowed.
He just goes and he's like, I'm going to find Nintendo games.
Yeah, I'm going to bring my dog into this store, and I'm going to ask
And
for Nintendo
if he
games.
says no dog's allowed, he's going to be like, fuck you, old man.
Yeah, I'm Evan. I'm Evan Ross. So he finds a can of Monster Blood in the back. It's surprisingly, Nick, not in a green can at all. It's in a blue can.
Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I just, I picture everything about Monster Blood being green.
Yeah, but then, it's not aesthetically pleasing. When you open the can, you won't be able to tell where the blood starts.
I guess so. You're a smart cookie.
I try.
Yeah, you're an oatmeal and raisin cookie. You're one of Aunt Catherine's tasty little morsels.
And I'm still single, ladies.
Got raisins for days with this one.
I don't want to know what that means.
So this can reads Monster Blood.
Monster Blood. That's the name of the book.
Surprising miracle substance. At first, the man who walks in on him and says,
Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
Yeah, stay out of here.
Stay out of the basement.
Stay out of the side room, the narrow hallway doorway side room. Stay out of it.
Yeah, that doesn't have
It's not
the
as
same
catchy.
ring.
Yeah. He doesn't want to sell something. It's too old. It's likely not even to work, Evan.
But what is it supposed to do?
It's just surprising.
Is it just like a sex tonic?
I don't think so. It's a miracle substance, so I guess it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Evan, though, he sees this as an opportunity to negotiate price. Wanting it for less money since it's old. Evan doesn't, Evan, if an old man doesn't want to sell something, you don't negotiate by going down in price. That's not how it works. I don't want to sell it. I'll give you half of what you originally wanted. No, I don't want to sell it. $2.
$2. Which in 1992 money.
Oh man, that's like $2.50.
That's like 20. Oh,
How much is it?
I was gonna say 20.
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
No. Look, all I'm saying is back in my day, you got a Batman toy for $5. Now they want 20.
Those DC vampires. Andrea sees this and she tries to get in on it and she wants one too, but there's only one can. Only one can, man. It's not even for sale. And the old man he's not all there because then he says
because he doesn't want to sell it, and then he's like, well, why don't you share it?
And he's like, oh, so you're willing to sell it? And we're like, wow.
Oh, fuck.
guess.
Why did I say that?
I guess you could buy it for $2, but don't bring it back here complaining to me that it doesn't work. It's like, I don't even know what it's supposed to do. I just think the can is cool.
Yeah, like, I would have just been like, oh, put it in the sewer.
$2 well spent.
Look at this neat can I bought. I can put stuff in it. Like what? I don't know, pennies and stuff.
The other,
I can
the
suck on them
eight,
later.
You can with the $8 he has left. Outside, Andy tries passing the store owner's idea of sharing it off as her own idea. A little rip-off girl, this one. But no dice. Evan suggests that, come back to my place. I'll let you mess with it for a bit.
And he's not talking about the monster blood.
And they go back to Great Aunt Catherine's, who sometimes I call Aunt Catherine. Sometimes I just call Catherine because she's all of those things to different people. So just don't.
And she's deaf. She doesn't count.
She doesn't even know. Is it strange that when Evan is describing the books that he has in his room, we didn't talk about this before because he's describing them as like, a bunch of science and medical books. And then when Andy sees them, she describes them all as magic books.
Yeah.
Are they the same books, or is she just seeing a different row of books that Andy didn't that Evan didn't realize?
Or is he just to the point where it's like following Clark's third law that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic?
Maybe, Nick.
She's 12.
She's also a lady, and they mature faster than men. Maybe she's real into this kind of thing.
That's possible, but based on her attitude so far.
I love Andy.
All right.
So
she's 12.
Oh, she was 12 in 1992, Nick.
Yeah.
How old do you think she is now?
37.
Basic math.
In a row.
They open up the can.
A whoop-ass?
No monster blood.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. This isn't called whoop-ass. It's called monster blood.
So they open up that can. The book describes monster blood as looking like, but thicker than, Jell-O.
Jell-O.
Ka-ching.
Want some of that mad Bill Cosby money.
The Cosby bucks. That's what he's in. He has his wallet now.
It was 1992. It was a different time. He was still America's treasure.
The kind of green that glows in the dark. You know that kind of green.
That kind of green. And you know what? Most Goosebumps merch were covered in that green.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, probably because of Monster Blood, but also, like, it was just, like, a lot of it glowed in the dark.
Yeah. And I don't want to, R.L. Stine, I love your books. I love your work.
Yeah.
I love you.
Well,
I wish you would return some of my phone calls.
yeah, no, it's a little creepy.
But this book, upon reflection, just seems like a way to set up the series to be very marketable. Because it's true, Monster Blood kind of became the thing that Goosebumps had to sell. Like it was.
I mean, like Curly and the Mummy and Slappy were all, and especially like the hamster from Monster Blood 2, Hammy, I think was.
No, Hammy the hamster. That was from a different YTV show. It was Cuddles.
Was it?
Cuddles the hamster.
Hi guys, I'm a super fan.
That's okay. You keep my mind working because I hear something like that and I'm like, no way.
Yeah, keep it working.
That's from that live action hamster show.
Once Upon a Hamster.
There you go. What were you saying, Nick? About the hamsters and the Slappies and the Curlies of the world.
Well, just that it became a staple of Goosebumps. Those are the things. Those are the icons of the series as a whole. That's
true, but they never felt forced. Like I know Curly, though he was never really in any of the books. He was just the mascot.
He's just a mascot.
And I was okay with that. And the rest of the characters, Monster Blood never had a final form, like a marketable form as a character.
Just goo.
But just goo. And kids
But then you
had
the hamster.
Yeah.
That was like, the Monster Blood hamster.
He's the embodiment of
like
Monster Blood.
Green Monster Blood from its mouth.
Yeah.
With those buck teeth.
I love that cover. I loved it. We're going to get to that when we get to issue 18. But for now,
so soon.
And it's not that soon.
All right. Well, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah. We'll also talk about the cover at the end of this.
Of course.
We've been doing a bad job of talking at the beginning.
And we spent a lot of time on that first page.
The two of them go into the closet together.
What if it's plutonium? What if like Monster Blood 2 is just like Evan, he doesn't have any hair and he's just all sick.
Monster Blood 2, repercussions.
Monster Blood cancer.
They try to sue the store owner and he's like, I told him, don't come back complaining to me. Aw. Oh, poor Evan. I have
that out.
a little more sympathy for him now. So yes, it glows very brightly, luminescent.
Yeah.
In a way. It also bounces and stretches very well.
It's like glow in the dark silly putty.
Oh yeah, it's like
But
all the
but more viscous.
yeah. Yeah, it's all the best things about these products from the 90s. It's like a little bit of gack. It's a little bit of
You keep
silly
saying
putty.
gack. I'm not familiar with
You don't
gack.
know gack? What about Floam? You're
No.
down with Floam, no? That was just
Oh, is that just that commercial?
well, it was a commercial for Floam, I suppose.
What was an infomercial? You're making the starfish.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I
it's
remember the
basically
Floam.
like this gooey substance, but these brilliant people at Floam decided I'm going to put a bunch of tiny little pieces of styrofoam in it, and it gives it a different texture.
Right.
So there you go. You had that. This is like the embodiment of all of these things, and Evan is just very unimpressed with it. He's like, "It's all right," but I've played with stuff like this before.
You paid $2 for it, Evan.
What did you want?
What were you expecting? It's not flubber.
Yeah, stop living in a fantasy land. Stop being Doug Funny.
You're not Robin Williams.
You're not. You're not. So they accidentally drop some on the ground, and Trigger runs over and eats it up.
Stupid fucking dog.
Dogs always
Like, they will just eat anything.
yeah. I wonder where this is going.
Well, the dog's gonna die.
Yes.
I mean, it's monster blood.
Toxic?
Probably. I mean, if this town is any indication, that stuff is... First of all, the town is old. That stuff is really old.
Yeah.
There were no safety protocols. That stuff is probably has so much bleach in it.
I don't think it probably, because it really didn't have very much information on the can.
No, it was just monster blood. And, like, so even if it's like, okay, it is actual monster blood.
Yeah.
You don't... blood... No.
And you know what? It came in a can. Are there directions not to eat this? Are there directions to play with it?
Well,
Because
what does the label say? Did he even bother to read the label?
did it say not for human consumption? Not for canine consumption? Not for consumption in general? I don't know.
Well-
Maybe he takes it home and he boils it in a pot and eats it.
Evan, stupid.
There you go. Jump to 3 days later. Who cares about the dog, right?
Right.
Evan does care about it, but we just don't jump to 3 days later anyway. Evan's aunt is becoming much colder to him. And at this point, Stein describes her teeth clicking noisily. Yeah, there you go. She drinks iced tea. That's not a natural thing. I don't know how that happens.
Iced tea?
Iced tea's, no, clicking your teeth loudly.
Uh-huh.
Do you do that? Do you drink something and then just like, ooh, that was
Oh,
nice.
no.
Okay.
No.
Good. I'm going to pay attention when you drink iced tea now. Just, when you think you can't be more grossed out by Great Aunt Catherine, she does something like this. Evan now finds out that his parents are going to take a little longer finding a new home. They're enjoying this vacation. They're stay away from Evan. And Kath...
They're just going into houses and
Yeah.
using the bidet and then fucking off.
Yeah, well, they're like, oh, we found a perfect house, Evan, but you wouldn't like the school. We're going to keep looking.
But I like his answer. I don't have to go to school.
Yeah.
I like that.
His stay with Great Aunt Catherine is going to have to be extended. Why does she even own a phone? What's the point? So she can call up people and just talk but not have to listen to anybody? Why is there a phone? She can't hear it ring. She's paying for it.
It's true.
Paying
That's
for
true.
that.
Why do...
Later on, she gets a telegram.
That would be the best way to read... Well, no, I mean, just letters.
So do you think she just calls people and talks and they respond in telegram? Whatever. It was convenient for the plot because we don't want to wait for a telegram for
Yeah,
Evan to
I think
realize.
it's just convenient for the plot that there's a phone in case someone wants to use it.
Well, no.
It's a waste of fucking money. And...
Especially when no one's allowed in her house. She's not
Yeah.
allowed guests, as we find out later.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
the cat did it.
The cat did it.
That's how most of these books are going to end, isn't it?
The cat did it. Evan now is on his way over to Andy's place when the Bamer twins, Rick and Tony, keep doing that while I describe them, two beefy, red-faced brothers wearing heavy metal t-shirts. They're about to beat him up and steal his $8. But Andy rides up on her BMX and saves him. And they push her to the ground. They push this lady to the ground, Nick. I hate them now. Because I'm identifying more with Andy. Andrea.
Okay, yeah.
And
There's a lot to unpack there.
I've just been pushed to the ground by these bullies. And then they steal her bike. And Evan just stands there and does nothing.
Yeah.
Does this make you hate Evan just a little more?
No, because I mean, if I were in that situation, I don't want to get beat up.
Andy wishes that something could be done about those two. All they do is terrorize the neighborhood. She goes home to wash the blood off her leg. And Evan goes back to his home. Doesn't even offer to go back with her and see if she's okay, help her back to her place. Just lets her go. He's like, oh, okay, well, go home and wash up. He later, though, fantasizes about beating up these twins, beating them to a pulp, while Andrea watches and cheers him on.
I mean, to a pulp?
To a bloody, disgusting mess on the floor. And he's enjoying it, and Andrea is into it.
I think Evan might be a psychopath.
Especially when he didn't do anything. He's really fantasizing here. He's Doug Funnying it up because he did nothing, and all of a sudden now he is this hero who's killing these two children, and the woman he loves is just into it. Now he goes to check on Trigger, who happens to be choking to death outside.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, and then his eyes are bulging and all. Nearly dies, but Evan removes his collar, which is shrunk. Or has it?
It's leather. Leather doesn't shrink, you guys.
Unless it gets wet. Ooh, trust you. What have you been doing? It was cutting off his airflow and his blood circulation. And so I imagine in his mind, he justifies not protecting Andy because he's like, well, had I done something about these bullies, I would have been a little later to get home, and my dog would have been dead.
Trigger would be fucking dead.
Would have been this sickening dog corpse in the backyard.
Probably, like, if he was still growing, because I mean that's what's happening. He's just growing larger and larger.
We don't know that yet.
We don't know it yet, but we know it.
We know
that collar would have stayed the same. Like, that head would have popped right off.
Yeah, he would have come home later that afternoon. There would have just been a giant headless dog corpse in the back.
And a puddle of green goo.
Yeah. So it's a good thing he came back. It's pretty. I thought this was going to be a dream because he describes it so horrifically. It's like, oh, his eyes were bulging out. He was wheezing and making horrific gasping sounds. But he's able to save the day. So Andy and Evan now, they free a cat. This is like the next day. The Bamer twins have struck again. They tied a cat to the trunk of a tree.
Do we know it's them?
We don't, but
was it Sarah Beth?
Well, Sarah Beth is just another cat.
Yeah.
So as far as the audience knows, and we don't know anything about Sarah Beth.
Okay, we know the ending,
Fine,
guys.
Sarah Beth is a witch, and she's been behind all of it.
So, are we sure? Are we so sure it was the Bamers? Are we sure it wasn't, like, because cats, are the guardians of the underworld or whatever, like, witchcraft, cats, like...
I thought, this is all highly speculative, because she is a cat herself. Why would she do harm to other cats?
Matthew, we know she's a witch human.
Oh, but then why was she ever a cat? Why was she a cat all this time?
Well, when the kids are away, I'm sure she's in human form, like, smoking a cigar with her feet up, cackling, like, I made you deaf.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's assume it's the Bamer twins.
Well, I'm sorry, but we're just meandering in the first 4 chapters still.
Okay, I'm saying that we're like halfway through the book and there's very little monster blood to be had.
No, I know, it's a really boring book.
It's true. I gotta describe it as
It's not
such.
boring, it takes a while to get to the action in the last 2 chapters.
Yeah.
All 29 of them.
So they free this cat. Andy thinks it's weird how Evan talks about his aunt right in front of her, but he yells out, "You're crazy old coot!" I had to clean it up a little bit because he said some pretty nasty stuff. And he does this to prove to Andy that she is deaf. But she kind of hears him. She looks up. I don't know. I don't know. She just has good timing, I guess. Did you think that maybe she wasn't deaf?
Yeah. I thought maybe she was just, not pretending, but, like, not faking it, but she was just, like, it was very selective.
Yeah.
Like, she could hear, but she couldn't respond, maybe? Or something, like she was trying to there was something amiss.
Yeah, there's many different levels of deafness, and sometimes people say they're deaf, but they can still hear things. Sometimes people say they're deaf and just need the volume on the television turned up real loud.
Well, yeah.
I didn't
okay.
know if she was 100% deaf, like medically.
I
deaf.
thought that was what she was telling people. I just didn't know.
Yeah. Nick, what's the name of this book again?
Meandering story of two children that, don't do anything for 27 chapters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where's all the blood?
Where's the monster blood?
This book promises blood and blood everywhere, Nick.
They said it was going to be a blood drive, so just like,
Yeah.
a car made of blood.
But even then, that's a lot of blood, and there's not that much blood in here.
No.
I'm hesitant to say it, but I don't even believe monster blood is the blood of a monster.
I think it's just a dumb toy.
Yeah, I think so. There's very little monster blood in this book. At this point.
Well, yeah.
They finally go to check out the monster blood, so here we go. They're surprised to see that it is expanded out of its can. It's no longer cold.
That's what happens when you leave it in the sun.
Yeah. It warms up and expands. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Like mercury.
And it's become very sticky, like mercury.
Yeah, no, that's very...
Don't
Is monster blood just mercury painted green?
just this.
They're all gonna die.
Yeah, this toy shop owner is just painting everything, just taking a bunch of mercury and making
this monster
toys
blood?
out of it.
Yeah, that's Quicksilver. Nice and bouncy too.
Does the trick. That's why you don't see any other kids in this town.
They all died of mercury poisoning.
Yeah, except for those Bamer twins.
No, they just got the side effects.
Red faces. Is that a side effect of mercury?
Okay, so we're settled. This is the thing. Monster blood is just mercury painted green.
Yes, it is. As they are discussing it, they notice the cat, Sarah Beth, watching them from the doorway. And throughout this book, she's mentioned a lot. And
I wonder if she'll be important later.
yeah, I wonder. And at the very beginning, now I'm remembering, Aunt Catherine went to great lengths to describe this cat as evil, pure evil, 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 evil. But she didn't seem too serious about it.
No, it's like how an old woman will describe an active cat, oh, it's up to no good.
Except this cat was evil. She didn't even want help.
Real evil.
It's weird. It's weird. The aunt and the cat's relationship is strange. But we'll get through it.
Yeah.
The two of them start daring each other to do things with the monster blood, and then they start throwing it at each other, and they have a messy, hilarious monster blood battle until supper.
No, monster blood bath. Come on.
Well, they didn't. They took a bath together.
No, you said blood battle, and they're throwing blood everywhere. It's bloodbath.
Yes, but it was specifically described in the book as a hilarious monster blood battle.
I guess I'm a better writer than R.L. Stein.
That's blasphemy.
It is, I'm sorry.
Blasphemy. They hear Trigger barking and are shocked to see that he is nearly doubled in size. Nearly. Close to it.
Yeah.
Trigger
They don't have the
escapes.
exact measurements, but, it's in the ballpark.
Yeah, he's not, that was the couple of chapters they had to cut out where they weigh him and they check their files.
Well, they do bring him to the vet.
They do. Hold on, yes, the dream. You want to talk about the dream?
Yeah, I want to talk
Trigger escapes into the night and chases the Bamer twins before letting out a loud howl and then transmutating into some horrific monster.
See, now, that's where I thought this whole book was going to go.
It's picking up.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that.
No.
It was a dream. He realizes that it was all just a dream, and it's like, oh man, good news, because I love that dog.
Mm-hmm.
But now he realizes he's in his bed, but he is grown. He has giant hands, giant feet. He's doubled in size himself. He lets out a scream.
Ah!
But wait, double dream.
Inception.
Damn, dreams upon dreams, he says to himself. Is this
Ponderous little fuck.
Is this too obvious a metaphor for puberty? Is this what this book is about?
Oh, God.
Now he's awake for real. Notices the monster blood is still growing, bubbling out over the coffee can they had moved it to, but goes to sleep. That's tomorrow Evan's problem. The next day, Evan and Andy take Trigger to the $8 vet down the street.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, because I was like, what are they paying him for? Like, what are they paying him with? Like,
exactly. I knew it was like, okay, Evan still got the $8. I'm doing this mental math in my head, and I'm feeling really proud about it.
Yeah.
But you get what you pay for, right? Because Dr. Forrest, it chalks Trigger's doubling in size up to a late growth spurt.
The dog's 20, but
Yeah.
you know.
The dog is 80, 83 in human years. Was that it?
Yeah, older than Aunt Catherine.
Yeah, he recommends some dog food to him. It's like, take this dog food. Maybe it'll help.
Maybe he's just got to shit it out.
What kind of doctor is this?
Well, now see that there's a dog.
Yeah. How much?
That'll be $4, please. Oh, you want me to examine him? Well, that'll be $6.
Oh, you want lab tests done on him, huh?
Oh, lab tests there sure do sound kosher.
Hormone tests and blood and glandular samples. Yeah, that'll be another 50 cents.
Glandular, that's... Oh, I couldn't do that for more than 75. Less than 75. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Let's send this out to the lab for results.
The lab is upstairs. It's just me with a microscope and
We're conflicting here because one of them we're saying this stuff should cost a lot. Now we're saying he does it on the cheap. Like back and forth.
It's both. It's a bizarre vet that'll do everything for, you know...
This vet does it all. People know.
Birthday parties.
People in the know.
Wedding receptions.
This is in the back of like the yellow pages. Need something done on the cheap? Dr. Forrest does it all.
Hello.
Blood tests. Glandular samples.
Give me your blood.
I'll
switch it around and test it right in front of you.
Need some fast and cheap lab results?
Yeah, tastes like copper. You're good.
Dr. Forrest knows what's up.
Dr. Forrest, hello. I've got the skinny.
Not a doctor. Andy's got to run. She's late for a piano lesson.
Oh, what did she say exactly?
My mom's going to kill me if I'm late.
So does that mean that piano lessons can be murder?
They can lead to child murder, yes.
Two in a row now.
He's definitely suggesting that.
They've always got to run for piano lessons.
Yeah.
And someone's always going to be killed.
Yeah. You know, her mother may not kill her. She may just maim her. Perhaps. Teach her a lesson. On the way home, Evan decides that an ice cream pop will do the trick to cheer him up. And he goes into the grocery store. I don't know, Nick, what I find more ridiculous here. The fact that he thinks tying up a double-sized Cocker Spaniel outside is a fine idea, or that he still has enough money for ice cream after taking him to the vet.
He bought the monster blood, he took the dog to the vet, and he still got money for an ice cream?
I miss the 90s.
The 90s sound wonderful.
I could be a king.
Oh.
I got like $200 saved up.
I could buy me 4 Nintendo games.
I've taken a cat to the vet
Donkey
before.
Kong 2.
Donkey Kong 2. Whatever. This is where my suspension of disbelief just has to. It couldn't go past it.
Yeah. But the infinitely growing dog, that's kosher.
Yeah.
Okay.
So outside, Evan walks up. He sees the Bamer twins. They're trying to steal Trigger. He confronts them finally, but one of these Bamer twins punches the ice cream bar out of his hands. Like I was.
That's a waste of 50 cents.
Waste of a punch too.
Yeah.
You got a chocolatey mess on your fist now.
Yeah, but now he can just be like...
Yeah, I guess. That's one option. This causes Trigger, though, to attack Rick, I believe.
Just like the dream?
Kind of, similar to the dream. And then he chases the two twins away. So yeah, like the dream. And Evan's like, are my dreams coming to true life? Is this real life? Evan wonders. To true life.
So then he sits there and he takes a top out of his pocket and he spins it.
Yeah. Basically, because we don't see what happens.
Yep.
It jumps to the next page, next chapter. And it just jumps to Evan and Andy on the phone together. This last chapter ended on a real cliffhanger. I want to know, is this dog going to be put down? Is the doctor that just...
Where is the dog?
Where is the dog? Yes, first of all, but he did attack somebody.
So there's just a dog on the loose?
Yeah, double the size of a regular dog of that breed on the loose, jumping on bullies. And that's not interesting. Let's go to another page. Let's see what Andy and Evan are talking about.
What are they talking about, Matthew?
Well, they're talking about what had happened and how he found the dog.
So then they go into detail about what we just saw.
Yeah.
Right.
So he found the dog, but no bullies. They were gone. He goes over to Andy's now with a bucket filled of monster blood. It's grown to bucket size.
Bucket size.
They want to figure out bucket-sized monster blood.
Bucket size monster blood.
They go
Get
over.
yours today.
They want to figure out what to do with it. What do we do with it? Best option: sell it to other kids. Sell this
yeah.
stuff, man. You
You
paid
could-
$2 for it.
You have enough money. You can just go to the vet whenever you want.
Yeah, take everyone to the vet.
Humans.
Why not?
Sure, I'll take out that appendix.
Remember, Dr. Forrest does it all.
Birthday parties. Bar mitzvahs. I don't discriminate.
Evan here, he's pretty responsible about all this, not wanting to just toss it out, because maybe they'll have to hold on to some of it for the doctors to cure Trigger, if it comes to that. Andy agrees to take some of it to lighten Evan's load, and she grabs a coffee can to pour it into, but the blood pulls the can away, and it's got a life of its own.
It's got a life of its own, and this doesn't tip them off yet.
No, they wrestle the can out and pour the monster blood in.
Must be their imagination.
Must be. Even the dog rapidly growing. Probably. And I don't understand how they're not constantly watching that dog, because they know the monster blood is growing and they know that something's up with Trigger.
It takes them a while to put 2 and 2 together to make 5.
And they haven't done it yet.
No.
Because
And we are how far into the book?
I think halfway. We're halfway through my notes.
Oh,
I hope
boy.
that
Oh, boy.
excites you.
Buckle up, boys and girls.
Evan gets beat up now by the Bamer twins just outside of Andy's house.
What, again?
Well, he doesn't get beat up before. The dog saves him.
Oh, okay. This is where he gets beat
This
up.
time he's got no Andy to come to his rescue, no Trigger to come to his rescue. He gets beat up. He gets punched in the stomach, punched in the face, and then continuously punched until he falls unconscious on the ground.
Yeah, I thought that was real rough.
That's the scariest part of this book, actually. Yeah. And then these guys run away.
Yeah, because
they're like, well, we killed him. We just killed a kid.
they're like, oh, shit, not again. Mom, Dad, we gotta move town again.
So he wakes up now with Andy helping him to his feet, and they scoop up the spilt monster blood, and he runs home. Later on, Catherine barely even makes mention about this swollen face.
You know how many fucks she gives?
None.
Absolutely none.
She
It is a
doesn't care.
big old goose egg.
Yeah. She's like, good.
Zero.
You know what? You little ruffian. You probably deserved it. Your father liked picking on people too, and it got him beat up.
You little shit.
Yeah. And then they eat the rest of their meal together in silence.
Well, it's not like she can hear anything anyway. It's always
No.
silent to her.
No, and this is pretty depressing. Evan is just sitting there eating this meal in silence with his aunt, who doesn't care about him, thinking about his monster blood problem and wishing that he could just pass this off to an adult. It would be so much easier, but that there isn't anyone he can turn to, so he has to figure this out for himself. He pours the monster blood into an old bathtub in the basement, but is startled by Sarah Beth and falls in. We spend a whole chapter while he struggles to get out of the bathtub.
Which reminds me of that scene in Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah?
You're familiar with the film.
Yes, I am aware of its existence.
Okay, well, there's a part where there's a bathtub and it starts filling with the pink slime.
Oh, okay.
And then it just like...
Oh, yeah, that's got to be what it's like.
Yeah.
Does it kill somebody?
It comes close.
Comes real close to killing Evan.
Yeah.
So we spend a whole chapter with it.
Well, to be fair, the chapter's like half a page long.
Yes, to be fair, but also I just want to say we spend a whole chapter of essentially Evan getting out of the tub.
Hey, it takes a while on good days sometimes.
As you get older, kids, you will realize that it's not easy to get up.
You need a good handlebar.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm 80.
Those handlebars are real nice, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
Go to my grandparents and you get up using those bars, and you're like, why doesn't everyone have this?
Yeah. It's so easy.
It takes like 75 years to learn that this is a great thing to have. He manages to get out of the tub, though, and sees that Sarah Beth has just been watching with a look of supreme satisfaction on her dark feline face, Stein writes.
But it's a cat. I don't understand.
I don't get it. I actually did not get it. Evan is pretty desperate. And the next morning, he actually writes a note to his aunt saying, I have a problem, all in caps. I need your help, all in caps. The bathtub downstairs is overflowing with green monster blood, and I can't stop it. That's it.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing to write.
It doesn't explain
It
the situation
explains
very well.
nothing.
It doesn't give you any
It makes you
backstory.
sound like a dumb little kid making shit up.
Yeah, it makes you sound like a 12-year-old, Evan. Great Aunt Catherine bursts out laughing like an insane old lady before changing tones, grabbing his earlobes, and telling him that she warned him to be careful. I didn't mention it, but she did warn him to be careful earlier on. But he wasn't sure if she even said be careful. But she did, and she's saying it again now, grabbing those lobes, those 12-year-old lobes, and saying, hey, Evan, I warned you.
He's no Count de Blochamp.
Not at all, and I know who Count de Blochamp is.
Yeah.
Just don't ask me any follow-up questions, please.
Okay.
Evan and Andy put the monster blood in large plastic bags and decide to bring it back to the store.
Bags, right?
Garbage bags, yeah. The kind you like put the leaves in.
So they're orange, not the green ones?
Well,
Because it would be appropriate to put them in the green ones.
They're probably in green ones, but they said, like, the big ones you use for the yard and stuff.
Yeah. So orange.
I guess. And so they bring it to the store where they first bought it, but learn that the store has gone out of business.
That store closed 20 years ago.
That's what happens when you don't have Nintendo games.
It's all boarded up and everything. They don't have any of that Donkey Kong. Gotta climb up that scaffolding and beat that monkey to a pulp. Get up there, little jump man.
Evan's losing it, by the way. He's out there. He's boarded up.
He thinks everyone sounds the same.
Yes, he does. But he's banging on it. He's like, hey, mister, I want to return this. I need $2 back. I got to take my family on vacation.
At this point, it'd be like, keep the $2.
Yeah,
everything
basically.
in this town is like a penny.
Basically. There's
I'm
a lot
a fucking millionaire.
Yeah, this is the only time we see townspeople, too. Like, there's a teenager driving
Yeah,
by. He's like,
yeah.
what you got in the bags?
Kiefer Sutherland and Stand By Me.
Yeah. Later a woman
Got
sees
a gun.
Oh. So many opportunities for this book to take a turn.
Yep.
Evan is described as dragging this bag of monster blood along the sidewalk.
That bag would rip.
Yeah, how many times have you dragged a bunch of dirty clothes to the laundromat just to have it rip over the street? And
Never, because I don't do that.
no, I guess not, but
I live in my own filth.
but these bags are super strong, man.
No, they're not. Maybe in 1992 when you could actually make stuff because people didn't care about the environment back then. Now they pretend to.
Yeah.
And you don't get bags anywhere.
They didn't even double bag this as far as the description goes.
That's how strong and durable these Glad bags are.
That's how great the 90s were. Evan is furiously banging at Wagner's Antiques and Sundries, whatever it was called.
Just say he's banging at the door.
Banging at the door.
Wasn't him.
And this lady drives by and is like, oh, you kids trying to get into that store because it's out of business.
They closed down 2 years ago.
Look, they even boarded up the windows.
They boarded up that window. They
And-
boarded it up real good.
And Evan turns back. He's like, I can read.
Motherfucker!
You're not helping, old lady.
No, he doesn't say that. It's just like he mutters it. He's just like,
He
I
does.
can fucking see that.
Yeah, he does mutter it. So he's getting real unhinged here. He's thinking irrationally, and Andy needs to calm him down. Andy needs to be the hero. They drag those bags of monster blood back to Catherine's house somehow, without them ripping. Where's Trigger in all of this? I wonder.
He's still running around town.
He's choking in the back. They put another collar on him. They still haven't realized that he's rapidly growing because of the monster blood. Catherine
Still haven't put that together.
No. They will, though. Catherine tells Evan that his mother is coming back to get him. Evan is ecstatic.
Like that day.
Yeah, that
How
day.
fast does it take to get from where they're going to Atlanta?
Well, she timed the telegram very well.
Well, yeah. No.
I don't get it, but
Harumph.
yep. And she's ecstatic and doesn't even realize that this news is upsetting Andy. He's oblivious. He doesn't care about anybody but himself.
Care about anybody but himself.
Yeah, and so he runs out to tell Trigger the good news, and is shocked to see that he is now 4 times his original size.
When did Trigger come home?
That's the thing. That dream that had happened. I don't know where the real life ended and the dream began.
Did the top stop spinning?
I don't know.
Okay.
Did the ice cream bar he bought get punched out of his hand? Did that happen?
Yeah. No, that all definitely happened.
No, you know what? That did happen. You are correct.
I know.
But we're going back to that original dream, and I had a question about that. I didn't voice it at the time. They're having that monster blood fight, and then they see that Trigger's gone. And then he runs out to go find Trigger, and then he wakes up realizing it was a dream. At what point did he start dreaming? Was the monster blood fight real?
I don't know, man. It's a kid's book.
Okay, good point. Good point. So he's the size of a pony now. Evan runs after Trigger, but topples over Andy's BMX bicycle.
She's just leaving that shit all over the place.
But
And you know, because she's got a BMX bike, I'm just picturing like really young Nicole Kidman in that Australian movie BMX Bandits. That's who I picture as Andy in this book.
okay, she's described differently.
I absolutely know that.
But okay, at least you have a good. Is she 12 years old though?
She's young enough.
Okay, young enough.
No, like she was like 15 or something in that movie.
Oh, okay, okay. So this means that she got her bicycle back.
Yeah,
at some point.
it was still that. Yeah, there's not a lot of explanation.
Yeah, I mean, she did say that, like, oh, these guys will leave it somewhere when they're done with it, but...
Well, it's like, also, if it's such a small town, like, doesn't she have parents?
Yeah, well, she does. We saw
They
the
could
mother.
just walk over and be like, hey, give me back my fucking bike.
Yeah, but, and you see, that's something Evan would do, is rat on these people to his parents. But...
Andy's gonna deal with it herself. Because she's a strong, independent woman.
She is. So... When he tripped over this bike, he knocks over... When he trips over this bike, he knocks over the garbage can full of monster blood.
Oh, no.
Oh, no is right, Nick. This is where the book starts.
In chapter 24.
Yeah. The monster blood is described as rising up like a newly born creature. Yeah. It heads towards Evan. And he gets up. He bounces towards him. It's a bouncy ball. It's like a...
It's like in The Prisoner?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like in The Blob. But it bounces. He gets up and the two of them run for their life. The giant green blob of monster blood is causing havoc now in the streets, eating up robins with no remorse. And then it turns to the Bamer twins and gobbles them up too.
Good
Riddance. It just
Big green goo.
sucks their bodies in, and their screams become silent inside the mess. No one can hear you scream inside the monster blood blob.
In monster blood, no one can hear you scream.
No. If you open up your mouth, you're just going to get a bunch of blood in your lungs.
But then you'll grow bigger.
Yeah, and would you outgrow the monster blood is the thing.
So just keep on eating that Quicksilver.
I wonder what it would taste like.
I have you know how you have an idea of how things would taste but you can't describe them?
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you got that, but it's of no use to me because you can't describe it.
Yep.
It's okay. At this point, Aunt Catherine decides it's a good time to stick my head outside and look around, see what's going on
out there? What are you children up to?
Whoa! What's that giant viscous blob of green that's gobbling up the neighborhood children?
I say, back in my day, we only had...
Malaria?
So she sticks her head out. What happens next?
It bounces over to the front door, bounces a bit more, thinking about what it should do. Do I really want to eat this Catherine woman? Or
what do the kids decide to do?
Oh, what do the kids decide to do?
They
just
split up.
Stand there.
They're like, we gotta split up. We gotta go, and then it goes for Aunt Catherine.
Yeah. Okay, they were. What? It's gonna go after one of them though. It's gonna kill. It's like one of us needs to survive to tell.
Well, it goes after Aunt Catherine, and then Aunt Catherine's like, "Oh no!" And then he's like, "Son of a bitch, it got Aunt Catherine."
Or it's after her at least, and now I got to man up.
Now it's after her. He assumes like it got her.
Yeah,
it's on.
It is. This is the moment where he steps up.
Yeah.
And he goes in, doesn't have a gun, but has
No, he doesn't have a gun.
No, I know,
12.
but like,
I'm
what's he gonna do? Well, 12-year-olds have guns, Nick. This is 2017. This is not 1992. Get a gun at any toy store.
Yeah.
I bet you that old man had to shut down his business because he was selling guns to minors.
Hey there, you want this 12-gauge pump action? Takes plenty of buckshot. Do you want some gunpowder in there? It'll explode on impact. Burn them real good.
In recent news, Wagner of Wagner's Antiques and Sundries has been arrested
for selling firearms to minors. When asked, he said, "Well, back in my day, you needed a good musket at your side to chase the buffalo."
Yeah. Chase the buffalo. She's still alive. She's backed into a corner.
What did she say?
In her desperation, she
yells, "I created this, and now I'll have to die for it."
Yes, she does say that. And Nick, this is where he starts making more connections here. Still hasn't connected that the monster blood is Has he connected that? He has.
I don't know.
Okay.
They're all idiots.
Yeah, so now he's making these connections. It's just a rush of images flood his brain. The bone necklace, the books, the black cat, the shawl.
Oh my god, what shawl?
She was wearing a shawl, apparently.
Yeah, okay.
This whole time, black
Yeah.
shawl equals witch. It all makes sense to Evan now. And Catherine, he should have taken her at her word that she is a scary old witch. And now he accuses her of casting a spell on his prized $2 monster blood.
Yeah, this is where it went off the rails for me.
Oh my god, this just like it's destroying the monster blood name.
Well-
It's just a bad story. I didn't like it.
Okay, keep going, and I'll give my thoughts on it at the end.
Okay, so she insists that she didn't and points to Andy, saying she did it. Chapter break.
Well, now jump to conclusion.
Jump to yeah. Well, I mean, she's pointing right at Andy, but who
Yeah.
would have thought she's actually pointing at the cat, right in front of Andy? No,
Oh,
past
boy.
Andy.
I'm ready for this.
This cat, Sarah Beth.
Yeah.
Now
What
morphs.
did Sarah Beth do?
She morphs into a young woman with fiery red hair.
Oh, now we're talking.
Apparently, Nick, Sarah Beth put a spell over Catherine 20 years ago to imprison her and make her work for her as a slave. But now the spell is about to be broken, and she's going to use the monster blood to escape.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. She thought she was her friend, but she used black magic and made her deaf. And she was not allowed to lip read or learn sign language. And she forced Catherine to also cast a spell on the monster blood because she wanted Evan gone, because Catherine wasn't allowed to have any guests. And Sarah Beth wanted her to do her evil bidding
Yep.
as a human. And so they don't really describe her why she was a cat. They don't describe why she
that
was a cat at
doesn't-
any point.
But I mean, at that point, I don't think it really matters.
Do you think that Sarah Beth just usually stayed in cat form and wanted her to like take care of her and do cat stuff to her?
I don't know.
Okay.
The motives of Sarah Beth aren't really explained.
Why did she think she was her friend? Was she ever her friend and they just got
Probably.
into dark magic? Was it the magic
Probably,
that did her
I
in?
think. I mean, I don't know. They don't go into it.
Don't mess with...
Maybe in one of the sequels we'll find out.
Yeah. Maybe. I think Evan is in the sequels to this and
Yeah.
doesn't... I'm not excited to read them, but I am excited to see how Monster Blood plays a role in the following books because I think it becomes more of its own thing instead of like the red herring
Like
that
Night
it
of
was.
Living Dummy, which we'll get to when we get to.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Catherine plans now on killing herself by letting herself be taken by the
Well,
blob.
not killing herself, sacrificing herself.
Okay.
There's a difference.
She plans on murdering herself for this
jeez.
for her great nephew.
That she doesn't know.
No, she wants to let herself be taken by the blob, thus breaking the spell. Sarah Beth says that the children will still be killed after you're gone.
Yeah, I'll just slit their fucking throats.
Yeah, they know too much about the monster. She orders the monster blood to kill them. So now the monster
Yeah.
blood is under her spell.
Yeah.
Even though
Let's get to the
did
end
it?
and
All right. Trigger runs in to see Evan. Stupid dog is like, come see Evan. Oh, bump into things or knock over some vases. Knocks Sarah Beth into the monster blood. She gets sucked in. She dies. She is dead. Trigger shrinks back to his normal size
That's
now.
one dead witch.
Yeah. Real
Yeah,
dead.
so, yeah.
So it was all just a spell. The monster blood was nothing. It was just a can of expired novelty.
Green goo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real disappointing.
I'll...
Should I? You want me to like just finish the last little
yeah,
bit of the
finish
book,
the
and then
last
you're
bit,
gonna
then
because
we'll-
you're brimming with stuff. You got a lot of ideas in there that you want out, but I'll finish it up, and then we'll cap it off. You know?
Cool story.
Yep. The blood of the monster blood. No.
The blood of the monster blood.
The blob of monster blood shrank down too, releasing.
The blood of a monster blood. The only blood that could ever reach me was the blood of a monster blood. He said, what? What?
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it was.
The blood shrank down too, releasing the bird and the Bamer twins, but not Sarah Beth. Her reign of terror is over.
Yep.
And now Aunt Catherine can hear again, but those 20 years are lost
Oh, yeah.
forever.
No. Well, I mean, what was she going to do with them anyway? She's an old
Lost
man.
youth.
Old woman.
Yeah, it's kind of really sad, though, that like 20 years ago she was betrayed by her friend, and now she was kept a slave for 20 years? Deaf? She
20
just...
years a slave.
Yes, they should. The next Goosebumps movie should be called 20 Years a Slave, and just be the Monster Blood story.
Yeah.
You know, this is the other spooky fact. Is in, I think, the German version of Monster Blood,
Der
or
Blood der Monster?
there was a slight difference. The Bamer twins were not released from the Monster Blood.
Oh, nice.
So they have also died. They were murdered in the Monster Blood. They were killed
Oh,
off.
you gotta love those Germans.
Yeah, they were like, the spooky is not scary enough. We need death. We need the Bamer twins.
We need to kill off more people.
How old is these kids? 14, 15? Yeah, they die.
Oh yeah, they're terrible.
Stein, can you make this book a little more scary? We like our children scared.
Yeah, I guess I can do that. Yeah, please, make it scarier. We want to get goosebumps.
Fine, the Bamer twins are dead.
Yeah, they're good.
So yeah, they died.
Yeah.
I like that story a little better.
Yeah, it has consequences.
It does have consequences, and you know what, Nick? Those Bamer twins, their lifeless corpses were tossed out of the Monster Blood, unblinking, crumpled bodies on the floor, but then they started to breathe, and then they ran out of the house. Now,
Like a bat out of hell.
Now, if we learned anything about the Bamer twins, is they do not take being ridiculed and harassed and made a mockery of lightly. The dog chases them. They come back with a vengeance and beat Evan up. Now, what is going to happen when they are ready, when they come back to win this battle, and Evan is gone to Atlanta? They're going to do some damage to Andy, I think.
No, I think they're not gonna wanna go near them again.
You picture a world where this happens and the Bamer twins let Andy live?
Yeah, because they don't want. They're like, oh, don't mess with her. Like, fucked up shit'll happen again.
She does want to keep a little bit of that Monster Blood. Maybe it's because she knows she's gonna have to use it on these twins. And they try cramming one last scare into this book with last chapter break. Ooh, figure in the doorway. The witch came back. No, just
it's
the mom.
the mother. Come on, you know she was coming back from chapters earlier.
Yeah, and she just missed all the action. The mom and Catherine go into another room to talk about all that's happened.
Not questioning that she can hear suddenly.
No, the mom doesn't find out yet. She hasn't heard this yet. She didn't answer the mom. I think Evan answered the mom. So we missed it. We missed the mom's reaction. I was excited to be like, whoa, Evan's been a good influence on you.
Yeah.
Something amazing. That's the thing. In the last 2 books, we have gotten the adults, like the parents, finding out about the evil goings on in the town, in the basement.
Yeah.
In this one, we kind of got some of it because the aunt knows.
Kids.
But I don't know if the mom's going to believe it.
No, she never will.
Yeah, and as we get later into the series, it's very rare that the parents ever believe them and ever really find out.
Unless they're in on it.
Unless they're in on it,
Vampire breath.
Yeah, and those were the things that really bothered me about the Home Alone series. Is I just wanted so badly for a family member, a parent, to realize all the stuff that Kevin did.
Yeah.
Like, that's so impressive. And they never knew. They never appreciated it.
No.
Now, Andy says, well, I guess you're going forever.
Yeah, okay, bye.
Yeah. Well, he says, I'd like to write to you. And Andy says, my dad also has a phone credit card, so, we could talk to each other on the telephone. What's a telephone credit card? Some 90s thing?
It's gotta be, I think it's like a prepaid phone card.
I guess he's out in Atlanta, so it's a little ways away, so they got long distance charges may apply.
They might apply.
But just wait a couple years.
101-5566.
Kids, the internet is coming.
Yeah, just wait.
Wait.
Get on that AOL.
Yeah, you tie up those phone lines in a whole different way. Yeah. They're going to be MSN Messenger friends. She wants the last bit of Monster Blood as a memento to remember Evan by.
But why would you want it?
Well, she wanted it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And now she gets her way. Well, she doesn't get it in the end because they look down to where it was, and it's gone.
Dun dun dun.
The end.
The end.
The end of a masterpiece in memory. But going down back reading the book, I was not. I
don't know.
I so enthralled
I
by
liked it.
I did, but it wasn't about Monster Blood.
That's the thing, and it just took a really long time for like the inciting incident and everything to all come into place. And when it did, I won't say I was disappointed, but it broke one of the cardinal rules of horror.
What?
Having more than one thing.
Okay.
The best example I can think of is the 1985 film Reanimator.
Okay.
You're familiar with the
Yes.
film? Yeah. So when the spoilers for Reanimator, but you guys should definitely check it out. It's one of the great 80s horror films. Do you agree, Matthew?
Yes. Yes, I do. Along with Bride of the Reanimator.
Bride of Reanimator is good too. But in Reanimator, at one point, one of the characters is decapitated.
Oh yeah.
And then he comes back to life, gets the reagent, and then he's able to hypnotize people.
Yeah.
And it's not really explained in like the unrated cut because they cut it all out because, and this is where I'm coming from, is that they figured, well, we've already got people coming back from the dead. If we throw like witchcraft and hypnosis in there, you can only really have one thing and it still be believable to an extent, like suspension of disbelief. And so that's what I kind of felt with this. It's just like, oh, it's this and it's witchcraft, and it's just like, well, all right. It was just too much. I would have been okay if it was just like this monster blood is a thing of its own.
Yeah.
But then they threw in witchcraft, and it didn't. It kind of diminished it for me. I thought, like I said, I thought it could have just been that this monster blood is just a thing of its own.
Yeah, just a can of something that makes things grow.
And, has a mind of its own, turns things into monsters after long enough exposure.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just like cat lady witch, put a spell on it.
Yeah, they did, and then that stuff, it felt like, pun intended, they crammed that in at the witching hour.
Get out.
They did, though. They kind of hinted towards it, but it's not like it's not a hint that like you should take seriously. It's like, yeah, she's a crazy old witch. She's got books on witchcraft, fine. Just to set up at the end, we're gonna turn this story around, and it's actually a witch story.
Yeah.
The monster blood was nothing.
The monster blood is just a toy that had a spell on it.
Yeah, and I'm interested in how this monster blood plays a role in the books going forward.
Yeah,
there's another 3
if
books.
It's witchcraft again, then it's just like you got 4 books of just witchcraft.
Yeah, and I mean the spell was broken.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't really.
Although I'd be okay if Sarah Beth came back.
One of the scariest parts in this to me was just the idea of having this monster blood that kept growing and growing. Not even that it was anything that evil. It was just, what do you do with it?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of like the Blob. Like, the Blob wasn't malicious, at least in the original one.
Yeah.
It was just like, consume. It didn't have a mind of its own. It just went for consumption.
I don't know what I found scary about it necessarily, but as a kid, I remember being just like, what are they going to do with it? Once it outgrows a coffee can and a paint bucket and then a bathtub, and what do you do with it? And you split it up amongst your friends. It's just going to keep growing.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's got to be a metaphor for something, but I don't know what.
Did you have any other closing thoughts? What would you rate this book?
Out of what?
Well, out of the 5 G-splat system that we've set up.
Thank you. 1 G-splat being
the worst.
And 5 being
the best.
Oh man, it's gonna be a 2.
Really?
2 G-splats for this one.
Because it
was all over the place.
I'm giving it a 3. I mean, yeah, it takes a while to get there, but it's still, I think, the second strongest book so far in the first batch.
Sure. I mean, it's part of the original 3.
Yeah.
When I think of Goosebumps, I think of Monster Blood.
Yeah.
But I don't think of this story of Monster Blood. I do think more about Monster Blood 2, even Monster Blood 3.
Well, kind of like the Mad Max movies.
Yeah, where the stuff you remember isn't really from the first one.
It's not the first one. It's the Road Warrior.
Yeah. Nick, do you want to talk a little bit about this cover? Because we didn't talk about it at the beginning. But what do you think about it? It is a T. Jacobus original.
It is. Doesn't really have anything to do with the story.
Well, that's the thing. He just gets a brief description of what's going on. This is definitely more bloody than I thought it was than the book actually ended up being.
Especially given that monster blood is just a blob. It's not actually blood.
Yeah, because we have it here trickling down the stairs with a set of glasses in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who wore the glasses, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I like the cover. I like the cover way more than the book itself.
It's a good cover.
Yeah.
I like the cover a lot. A little misleading.
But that's a theme in these
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
A lot of the Goosebumps books covers are like, I mean, once you get to the later ones, they're kind of on point. But yeah. And so I guess that does it for our Monster Blood discussion. And
For now, wait until another 18 issues, wait until issue 18. We'll get back into Monster Blood.
this is the first book that gets a sequel, right?
Yeah.
And not many did.
No, there's a Night of the Living Dummy.
Night of the Living Dummy. Monster Blood, Night of the Living Dummy.
The Haunted Mask.
And
The Mummy.
The Mummy. There are two Mummy books?
Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, and then another one.
Yeah. And surprisingly, Deep Trouble got a sequel as well.
Oh, Say Cheese and Die Again. You know what? There's actually a lot.
I guess so. So, on the next episode of Nik and Matt Get Goosebumps, every picture tells a story. Say cheese and die. One picture is worth 1,000 screams.
Whoa.
I've got goosebumps already.
I'm excited for that one. My goosebumps are... there's some residual goosebumps from this last one, but my goosebumps are also... They're coming in for the next one. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
So that's going to do it for this episode of Nik and Matt Get Goosebumps. Once again, if you want to write us, send an email to wegotgoosebumps@gmail.com. And until next time, Nick, I'm Matt.
And I'm Nick.
And we got goosebumps. I just hate Evan so much.